Hello, the internet, Saffron here, going back into a summer with the Shiba Inu. It's a big long name, the Shiba game. Where dogs are sentient and they have, their own civilization and stuff now. And we've been approached by this female who has challenged me to an arena? Arenai? I'm not sure. So we followed her to see what she has to say. So we head to a nearby alleyway, Max looking quite reluctant and glaring at the Shiba Inu. They know each other. I wish I could ask him what he knows about her, but the best I can do is make sure nothing bad happens. I need information about this arena challenge she mentioned. Who are you? Sid, she's hei-fei Hong. What? What? I let the dog up and down. Up and down. Her face should be the most important part to recognizing her, but I realize I haven't even looked her in the eyes yet. It's a task not made easier by knowing who she is. It's like my eyes are resisting as I force myself, against my will, to look at her closely. Her eyes, a striking hazel, long lashes, her coat pale and fluffy. What? Long lashes, her coat pale and fluffy. I lower my gaze. Ah, yeah, now I remember. It's just been a really long time, and you've changed a lot. I'm rambling, yet trying to put on a calm front. As I was saying, now that you're back, it's a very interesting situation for all of us. You weren't supposed to just take the feather and leave. It's not like my leaving affected anyone. Instinctively, I scoff and protest, but I know it's futile. Easy for you to say. Anyway, now that's out of the way. She reaches into her shirt and pulls out her pendant. I avert my gaze again out of habit. I don't like looking at other people's pendants because it feels like I'm intruding on someone's privacy if I look closely at what's on them. Whoa! She moves closer and all but flashes her pendant in front of my eyes. I flinch away involuntarily. If you want to show it to me, it's not necessary. I don't need to see it. I start as I feel my pendant stirring in my jacket, or something is stirring where the pendant is. My pendant can't move by itself. That's impossible. Then my pendant flies out of its own... Then my pendant flies out of its own will to meet hers. Then comes a glare of light, so brief that I barely comprehend what's happening. Sid! Max's voice is the last thing I register before everything goes dark. 1 week later. Just one more snooze. Ah, nice room. I fumble on the desk for my phone. I almost drop it, but finally manage to grab it and turn off the alarm. As usual, there's not much time left before my deadline, waking time. Which means after the 4 alarms that I'm allowed to snooze. Even though it's my last day of work, I should be on time. I curl myself from my chair, stretching my sore limbs. Well, this is certainly the last time I'm going to fall asleep at my desk. The room is dark with only a sliver of sunlight entering from the bottom of the blinds, giving indication that it is daytime. I slide off the chair, turn on the room light, and gather items I need for work, which are scattered around the room. Key cards, cash, cell. They have cash? I would think if they have like everything digital or whatever, that I'll be like the money currency would be digital too. But anyway, I always say I should pack up the night before so I'm not scrambling like this every morning, but I never end up actually doing it the night before. I shove my bulky laptop and water bottle into my backpack. Then I fling open my closet and reach inside for the sweater I thankfully had the foresight to set aside. I can't find it. The days after I set aside the sweater, I had piled other things inside the closet over it. Really. I shove away some other items, hats, papers, and whatnot. Aha, there it is. My favorite gray sweater. A special outfit for a special day. Everything collected, I sit down on the ledge of my bed and just take a moment. Now is a perfect time to check my emails. Oh wait, I'm already late. I'll just take a quick look. Vapor store, confirmation of your Vapor purchase. Dear at Sid Days, thank you for your purchase of BeagleNet 3. Attaches your digital receipt. Product ID, blah, 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 blah. Transaction, blah, blah, blah. Total, blah, blah, blah. To access your download, please. Okay. Oh, right, oops. BeagleNet 3. It's a purchase receipt for the game I had fallen asleep playing. I needed to complete the campaign. I waited 6 years for it. I glance at the top of my phone screen. There's still a couple minutes before I absolutely have to head out. Close my emails and open the message app. I could send some last words, but I have a feeling it would only weaken my resolve. Just one last text. There's no need to say goodbye. It would just hurt her. I should go. Just one last text. We'll do it. One last text. Hey, Q. I love you. Please don't forget me. I'll just check the spelling one more time. I'm just stalling so I have an excuse to wimp out and not send the message. I can't bring myself to directly say that I'm leaving now, but I hope she knows what I mean. With my paw poised on the screen for what seems like forever, I press send. Oh, look at how cute! So there are other dogs besides Shiba's. The familiar glass doors welcome me. I scan my fob key and step into the building. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago when I first entered these doors. I have been a fresh recruit, full of hopes and dreams of making an honest living for myself and contributing to society. I'm just here to pick up my stuff and do the paperwork. I repeat this to myself as I head down the familiar staircase. Pick up stuff, paperwork, that is. That's it. Other dogs start to file into the building, and some stop to wish me well on my move to the west coast of Canada. Last week we had a small office celebration in honor of my work and departure from the job, which was heartwarming. It turned my heart to embarrassing goo, so I try not to admit how much I appreciate it. I enter my office, which is separated from the corridor by a metal door and a glass wall. I scan my fob again. This is one of the most secure rooms in the building, despite that there isn't much to protect. Inside my office, I take a look at the computer monitors and the well-used keyboard. None of this is personal property, but I'm going to miss it. Funny enough, my office desk basically just looks like my room at home. I feel guiltier about leaving now that I'm here, like I'm throwing away all that I've built, all of this. Surprising as it might be to the general populace, this research facility is responsible for a big portion of the technological innovation in Canada. It's so weird pronouncing that. In fact, the phone that I'm using right now and the associated software was popularized by prototypes created in this very facility. I double check the desk drawers again and fill out a form to submit to the Labrador Resources Department. With all the errands of familiarities done, I take my leave for the last time because it's a lab research department. As I walk away, I can't help but look back at the building one last time. Okay, Nanda. Okay, Nanda. It's Q. So the restaurant is named Q and there's a lady named Q? Or a female? No, I'm not going to read it. It doesn't matter now. I must go. You should have read it. I bet it was important. Back at home, I get a backpack with some living essentials and of course my other set of keys, card, cash, and cell that would allow me to get around during my travels. I reach into my shirt and take out my pendant from Shiba Island. It has 10 orbs with smaller orbs surrounding them. I've been wearing it all these years, my last connection to Shiba Island. It's a remnant of a lifelong past, and while this pendant means nothing here, it's one of the essentials in a different land. It's time. I snap open a compartment in the back of the pendant. A once fluid movement, the clasp feels unfamiliar to me now. I have a good stable life here that I earned. I brought myself here. Giving this up means moving backwards. But this also means letting go of the chance to see my brother again. As long as time moves forward, I will move forward too, no matter where I am. I will move forward too, no matter where I am. See, the commas are a problem. Inside the pendant compartment is a small feather, already glowing now that I have removed its bindings. The feather of truth, whose holder can alter reality. Oh, interesting. I make a wish. I wish to go back. Okay. I feel as I've just stepped into a sauna. Within seconds, my coat feels heavy with condensation, as if someone just threw a wet blanket on me. So I'm here. I have not moved one muscle since I made my wish to the feather, but these sounds, contrasted with the quietness of my room, give me no doubt that my wish was indeed granted. In addition, these yelps and commotion really alert me to my situation. Oh, interesting. Shiba Inu scatter in front of me, yapping as if they saw a ghost. Well, you did just kind of apparently manifest out of nowhere. Was it that obvious that I appeared out of thin air? Well, this is not good. I can't believe I'm drawing attention already. I'm in what seems to be an open-air night market. I scan my surroundings, trying to spot a gap or opportunity to make an exit. These barks are different, deep and booming, a stark contrast to the higher-pitched yaps of the crowd. I look behind me, and it becomes evident why the dogs are scattering. Or maybe it's just wistful thinking that I'm not the cause. Oh no! A Labrador Retriever is bounding around. The Shiba Inu is dwarfed by it in comparison. The crowd is herded towards the opposite direction. I slink around to the side and duck behind a food kiosk. Thanks to the Labrador, this area seems to be deserted. Oh! Now that I'm undercover, I sneak my way towards what I hope is an exit. Sneaky, sneaky! After some trial and error through the web of kiosks and seating areas, I emerge onto the main road outside the market. Whoa, okay. Hey, this way! The voice comes from behind me and I start, my fur rising on end against my will. What, the fish fillet? Someone followed me without me noticing? The Labrador Retriever from before emerges as a speaker, falling into step beside me. That was supposed to be a snarl. It just didn't come out right. Did you say something? I hope that I was menacing enough. What do you want? To help you, of course. I'll guide you somewhere safe. Love the big happy Labrador now. What? Who is this dog? I'll just feign ignorance for now. Somewhere safe? I think you've mistaken me for someone else. He's a big happy lab, because that's what labs really are. They're just big happy stupid dogs. I don't want to be rude, but I know you've been away for a long time, so you probably don't even know where you are. The Labrador's voice is soft, quite a contrast from her towering physique. Well, I'm quite used to this height difference in canine da, but seeing her towering over the crowd of Shiba Inus earlier amplifies the difference. Continue to feign ignorance? Tell her to get away from. Well, we'll continue to feign ignorance. This is getting creepy. It's like she knows who I am. What does she want? Well, I'll just pretend that I don't know what she's talking about. I'm not going to reveal any information I might regret. You're not wrong. I'm just trying to get my bearings here. So could you just point me to the closest Mastiff Rapid Transit station? Mastiff Rapid Transit, Of course, but before that, I wanted to ask you some questions. Okay, never mind. This is getting weird. I need to just find the MRT station myself. I just want to help you, Miss Feather. What did you say? That's not my name. You've definitely mistaken me for someone else. Sorry, let me try that again. I didn't want to be so direct. Well, you didn't get the hint. Could you speak up? I mean, Sid, bearer of the feather, I want to help you. Okay. Fishbones, she really does know who I am. I am so confuzzled. Okay. You want to help me, you say, so I'll ask you again. Why don't you start by guiding me to the Mastiff Rapid Transit station? Don't worry, I will, but first I wanted you to take this. She produces from her pocket a wristband of sorts. It's a wrist phone. I'll contact you with it and you can reach me in turn. Thank you, but why do you think we'll be in contact after this? There's no reason for me to get involved in whatever it is that you want. Well, for one, I guess it would be troublesome if dogs knew you were back on the island, so I created a diversion. That's not reassuring at all. She knows way too much about me. Who the fishbones is she? I need to learn as much about her as possible. I know you could really use my help. You know you've gotten yourself in trouble too, right? You'll probably get arrested for disturbing the peace like you did. I have a story set up, plus I'm a Labrador living on Shiba Inu Island. I'm sure you already know I'm constantly in the spotlight. I know all too well, but I'm not going to say that. If she doesn't know I lived in the world of Labradors, I'm certainly not going to reveal that to her. Ha, when you put it that way, but like you said, I'm trying to avoid attention. So shouldn't I avoid being associated with you altogether? She sighs quietly. I'd hoped it wouldn't come to this, but you need to believe me when I say I want to help you. I can help you find your brother. Gasp! Okay. I've heard enough. I'll take your dog darn phone. But if I find out that you're any sort of threat to me, you better watch out. Of course, I understand. She offers a paw to me. Queely, by the way. Queely? Well, you already know my name. We shake paws. The Labrador just smiles mysteriously and gives me detailed directions to the nearest MRT station. So, it is, okay. I'm so lost with the story. Are we in the past now? Is this Q? Are we meeting Q in the past? I'm so confuzzled. DG Station, huh? That means I appeared kind of far south. Good thing it's in Tai-paw, though, where I need to be. Bye. Okay. I head to the station while the lab heads off her own way. So many thoughts are running through my head. The entire encounter still seems unreal, and is something I could never have imagined happening. Sid, focus. First you need to get to Max. I'm kind of torn because it's like it's Sid thinking, and then it switches to like narration. It's like, wouldn't it be Sid thinking the entire time, or Sid's inner dialogue? That's just a little weird. I find the MRT station according to the lab's directions. Thank dog the directions were accurate. Large hovering signs point out directions to various transit lines. Although I have been in this station in the past, it seems much larger than before, the layout having been expanded and rearranged. I slip out my pendant at the gates, scanning it to pay so it will allow me through. See, that's what I was saying. Why would he need cash? Anyway, I keep the pendant face down and hope that no one thinks it's strange. There's a large interactive display, and I see that there are many more lines than before, basically crisscrossing the entirety of Tai-paw and the outer metropolitan area. I place a paw on the destination, and a route draws itself on the digital display from the current station to my paw. I follow the instructions to the correct platform, and the transit arrives shortly. Sometime later. The ride is smooth, and I emerge up north of the city without incident. Okay, now it's black and white. It's a quieter residential area. My destination is sandwiched between other similar buildings that were built to be tall and narrow rather than take up the ground level. Approaching the well-memorized address, I feel more and more apprehensive with each step. A promise is a promise. This is the only place I can go. There is an intercom panel on the ground floor. Scrolling through the names, I find the correct one. That's it. Taking a deep breath, I tap on it. The doors slide open shortly after I tap on the panel, but there's no further response or communication from it. Does Max still live here? I can go in, but what if it isn't Max that just buzzed me in? I hesitate. Less than ideal scenarios running through my head. I take a deep breath. Stop it. There's only one way to find out. I step into the open door and onto a lift so small it could only possibly fit one dog. Well, one Labrador Retriever, 2 Shiba Inus. Oops, still can't help but think about it in space in terms of canine da. Soundlessly the lift rises. I am a bundle of nerves. My stomach churns on nothing. I really do hope it's Max. Their intercom might not have two-way communication. My old residents did, but I can't assume everyone has it, even after all these years. I do still have his number on my old phone, but I wonder if my old phone balance is still valid. Before I can decide whether to attempt calling ahead, the lift comes to a halt. No other way but forward. I step out onto the narrow corridor. Doors line the corridor, and I take a look at the order of the numbers before heading in the direction of the number 13. Just as I raise my paw to knock, the door swings wide open. You! Max? Sid! Yay, Max! I love you! Oh, I don't know, maybe not. He ushers me in and makes sure the door is closed securely. Look who it is! You finally made it back! I've been waiting for this moment all these years! I'm so confused. It really is him. He's here. He's kept his word. I'm so relieved. I'm so happy to see a familiar face. I reach out my paws to embrace him. He obliges and I eagerly hug him close. He smells like honey and cream, and I notice that, under my touch, his coat is as sleek and shiny as ever. I'm so happy to see you. Max just yaps happily, wagging his tail so vigorously that I can feel it moving him side to side in my embrace. Max helps me settle into the place. It's quite cozy, and despite the modern exterior of the building itself, he's decorated his room with vintage furniture and flourishes. I get a feeling he's really into vintage aesthetic. Maybe he's making a comeback on the island now. He shows me his collection of concert billets. Arranged on his wall, all of the musicians that I know of, meaning they go back at least a decade. Remember Jay Chow Chow? Of course! Remember when we'd watch his music videos back then on our flip phones? The days of 360p, yeah. 360. It's a really nice apartment compared to Max's old one. I suppose his final ranking allowed him an upgrade. He gestures me over to his desk, and as I peer on, he sweeps aside a pile of old records. Then he wiggles under the desk to activate something. There's a hiss, and a panel slides open on the surface of the desk. It's a touchscreen panel, glowing faintly with a green tint. I can see my reflection on it, along with some menu icons that I cannot make sense of. It's a security system. Pretty sophisticated, eh? No one would suspect that there would be such a system in an apartment like this. The door is actually secured with hidden bars that can be controlled from here, and there are sensors programmed to detect living matter other than you and me. Wow. He goes on about the security measures and gadgets, but suddenly I cannot find it in me to focus. I'm really hoping he didn't do this all for my return, but it's the most obnoxious explanation, or most obvious explanation. I take a deep breath, holding a paw up to signal I want to speak. It takes Max a brief moment to notice, but eventually he stops in the middle of his explanation. Max, I really appreciate your preparations. My throat feels closed up, and I swallow and chew on air to make it possible to continue speaking. I just want to know, how do I put this? I just want to reiterate that this could be really dangerous for you. I want you to reconsider it. Sid? And I think some dog is following me, and I have no idea what she wants. Sid! Sid, it's okay. I've always wanted to be able to finally help you. I promised you long ago I would stand by your side, even if the world turns against you. And now you need to let me do this, please. His eyes are warm, and I compose myself. I can't be weak. I need to be calm so I can make the best decisions for Max and myself. All right, but I need to tell you about the Labrador I met today. She knows a lot about me. I'll start from the beginning. You know, I used the feather to get back to the island. Oh, so it wasn't time travel, it was just travel. Like teleportation. I reappeared in some night market near DG Station. First thing I saw was this huge crowd of dogs all running away from me, so I thought it was because they all witnessed my grand appearance or something. I don't even know if I appeared with a light or poof or smoke of air or something. Or, oh, a light or poof of smoke or something. But I'm pretty sure I appeared out of thin air. But it turned out there was a Labrador just causing a ruckus, so I sneaked away. I sneaked. Then the lab just appeared behind me. She said she made a distraction on purpose because it would be inconvenient for me to be noticed. She even knows why I'm back on this island. It's very, very unnerving to me. Max nods his head solemnly. I might have made a mistake, but she gave me a wrist phone and I took it. I take it out of my pocket and show it to Max. I hadn't put it on yet. He takes it gingerly and examines it from every angle before waving a paw over the central watch face. Never really looked at a wrist phone up close before, I've never really looked at it. See, Max's voice and like the narrator, or I guess, kind of is the same. I've never really looked at a wrist phone up close before and take the opportunity to do so. The circular face, rather than being a screen itself, holds a light source where a hologram is projected from. The hologram functions like a screen of any other electronic device, but is much larger and can be put away at a simple touch. It kind of looks like a fan unfolding and folding back. I angle my body away gradually until I cannot see the contents of the screen. There's some sort of view angle limit, which works great for me. Sometimes I might be typing or reading questionable material, but even if not, I don't want other dogs seeing it. Questionable material? They have doggy porn? That's not right. She told me to contact her with this. Do you think I should? I'd probably do it anyway, even if Max doesn't agree with me. I'm not sure how dangerous it might be, and I don't want to compromise this safe house. She did mention my brother, though. I just want to find out what she wants. Max is still holding the wrist phone, so I huddle close to him to read and use the menu. I hesitantly touch a paw to the screen where it says Messages, and it opens the corresponding app as Max looks on. It's empty, so maybe there's a contact list? I scan the interface, but there's no back button. I press the sides of the screen, first left, then right, but it's futile. Left? Really, you gotta have the transition in the background, right? The wiping thing. How about tapping it? Okay, maybe sliding up and down? Nothing. Max, you've been grinning at me for too long. A little help here? You can set up any gestures you want to return to the previous screen, but the default is the face. He taps on the wristband face where the hologram is projected from. Oh. Alright, let's find this lab's contact info. And we will do that next time. I'm interested. I'm curious as to what's going on. And I love the dogs. So, thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, ring that bell, subscribe, leave a comment, all that good stuff. Otherwise, I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all later.